Good evening. How are we going? Just make sure I'm looking at the camera. um, so here we are with the stream. It's been a little break actually since the last time I streamed because I didn't stream last week. Can't remember what I was doing. I was just like, I was just like, can't be bothered, so I just did it. Chicken's here, having a little bath in her little pirate ship thing. So that's very nice. Hope everyone's doing okay at the moment. Someone said that it's week 9 at UNSW, so it's a pretty tough week. There's probably a lot of assignments happening at the moment. People might be a bit busy. So today, slightly different stream from normal because normally I'm playing games and stuff like that. Today I have, let me show you. I have a camera setup going for today, which involves my little work desk here. And so I've just got this cutting mat here to remind me of what you can actually see. I'm going to put together one of these because this is kind of fun. I did this on the weekend. It's something I bought in Japan many years ago. Well, it wasn't that many years ago, but it was pre-pandemic, so it feels like many years ago. And it's called Paper Theater. So if I open this and show you, you can see that it's made up of little sheets of. It's not just paper. It's a little thicker than paper because it's like it holds its shape better than just paper. But I kind of like it. It's really cute because it builds this little kind of 3D diorama shape like that, and I've got it in this. Let me put this back together. Kind of hokey, but then also kind of awesome little LED thing. Also, hello everyone. Hi Dongshu. Dongshu was there first. Had to claim it, right? And Zero and Edels are here as well. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's surviving the current the current workload at uni. Yeah, so you can change the color of the backlight. I think where I have it. You can get it to like cycle through RGB color space, which is kind of funny. It actually kind of works like that on this Godzilla diorama that I've got because it's like the chaos of Godzilla arriving. Hi Halogen and hi Olivia, how's it going? Yeah, so this is really cute. And it's so funny because I bought it I think 2015 or 2016, I want to say. I actually can't remember when we last went to Japan. It may have been like 2018. I actually don't remember for certain when we went to Japan and picked these up. But I started doing it and then just stopped because it was too much effort. And it was funny picking it up the other day. So when I put it down because it was too much effort, I hadn't yet become a miniature painter. So between the last time I tried this and now, there's like, I don't know, 200 to 300 painted miniatures in that time. And this was a breeze. It was like super easy because of that. So it was so funny seeing just the amount of commitment I have for hands-on hobby stuff and my capability to spend hours and hours doing it. This was less than an hour to put together, so it was like, yeah, it was actually super chill. So it's quite funny. Let me just turn my work light on. Yeah, that's okay. The camera deals with it. The light on my face is not 100% dealing with the duty cycle on my work light. Let me. I can make the flickering go away, but then it's super bright, and it's actually hurting my eyes. It's so bright. I should show you. Let me show you my setup. It's so funny for today. So I will take this camera and I'll aim it at my at my desk setup. So there's my like streaming setup there. So it's like I can see what's happening. But this is my work lamp here. And yeah, that's my phone blue tacked to my work lamp, aiming down at my workspace down here. It's pretty. Oh, check out my new brush holder. Yeah, let me get down here. I got it from this like the little gacha machines in the city. And it's just this like sassy little cat, and it's like, yeah, I got your brush right here. Actually, it doesn't hold it very well. Oh well. Yeah. Okay. Put my camera back. But yeah, hilarious setup. That the thing that's keeping my my phone here over my workspace and stuff. It's just two gobs of blue tack. So if this whole thing like comes apart at some point, and you'll notice when the camera falls or something like that, then like you know that my dodgy random setup has not worked. But otherwise, it seems to be okay. Allergens like you do that if your lamp was strong enough. Yeah, it's full on. Like I got this for my miniature painting because like when you're painting, you want a lot of light, but you also want it to be a really consistent light temperature. So I get this really white, consistent light. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have worn a white t-shirt tonight because I'm gonna have heaps of that light bouncing off. Oh, speaking of which, you gotta check out this t-shirt. It's the cutest thing ever. Let me get closer to the light. It's a katsukari, but like everything in the katsukari has little faces, and they're all like really cute and stuff. Even the spoon. See, yeah, it's just like yeah. I found I think we just stumbled on it, like this t-shirt shop in City Westfield. Ooh, sorry, just manage some cables. Yeah. And so, like, there was a few t-shirts there, which is super cute. So I just thought, oh yeah, this would be fun. I'm gonna get some of these. They're those kinds of things where like the actual artist t-shirts, so they're a bit expensive, but then sometimes when something's that cute, you go for it anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back to my workshop scene. I'll just align this nicely here. It's actually really funny because blue tacking my my camera to my light means it's now on like a boom arm, so I can actually put it anywhere I want. I wonder if I might. Because I don't really need all of the space to show you what I'm doing here with my hands. So I just enlarge chicken cam a little bit there. Okay, so this is the, as they say, the one that I've prepared earlier. And let me show you what I've got for this evening. So I've got the same light up case. So this is all the stuff I bought in Japan. As you can see, it's priced in yen. What is that? That's pretty cheap. I think 1 yen is roughly 1 cent in Australian dollars. Let me just looking up an exchange rate calculator. 1 yen is 10 cents. Wait, no. 1 yen is 1 cent. 1 yen is 1.1 cents. So we can roughly equate this to being a $15 thing bought like 5 or 6 years ago, and this is actually only like a $11 thing. Oh, who else of people are turning up? Hello, Dean. How's it going? How's life treating me? Life is treating me better. Like, I've been going back and forth on this kind of, like, I've been getting a lot of the feeling that when I'm in the middle of doing something, I keep feeling like I'm supposed to be doing something else. And it was like, I think I've trained that into myself over years of doing the lecturing thing. Sorry, I'm just going to readjust where my microphone is. Yeah, years of doing the lecturer thing has made me sort of hyper kind of like forcing guilt on myself anytime I take time for myself. And I think it's I'm having to work pretty hard to undo that feeling. Um, and I kind of don't want to try to get other work until I've sorted that out and I can balance myself back out. So life is actually treating me better because I'm starting to get around that, and I'm starting to actually, I don't know, act a little bit more human. Like when I first quit, I was unable to balance myself psychologically, emotionally. Like I was just all over the shop. I was um, either in full denial of the idea that humans work, or in a hyper tense state of feeling I needed to do something and not knowing what it was, but just feeling this pressure for no reason. I feel like I think it's like classic burnout symptoms. So getting over that now, which I'm happy about. I think it's much more positive, starting to get to the fact that it's like, oh no, I'm playing computer games today. That's what I'm doing. It's going to be great. And I've had a few games that I've been really, really enjoying, like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands just came out, and I've spent the last how long has that been out now? 2 weeks just playing that game. I nearly stopped playing all my other games, and yeah, it's been great. It's been fun. And so I'm starting to chill. I've actually been doing some fun things where I've been buying stuff for like the kids of friends. So I'm buying board games and role playing games and stuff for my friends' kids. And it's really exciting to see. It's exciting to see their reactions. I think so. One of the funniest reactions you can get from people is like, you give a kid something, you give them the box, right? It's got like the game that you know they're interested in because I know them well enough to be like, Uncle Mark knows that you like certain things, but also Uncle Mark is an expert in these games, so he can find the right one for you. So I get them the game, and then seeing the kid just like zoom in on it, or like one of them was so fun. He grabbed it and just ran to his bedroom. It was so cute, and it's so funny because like some people are like, they must show gratitude, but I'm just like, oh, they are. I can tell, I can see it. So it's like really, really cute. And so yeah, just like getting to spend some time with friends, playing some games with people. I've been playing Aeronautica, which is like a Warhammer Planes game, nearly every week. So that's a lot of fun and stuff. So what are we saying there? Dean saying you can relate to that a lot. Actively stopping forcing yourself to relax can be hard. Yeah, having to force yourself to relax feels weird, right? It feels like a weird thing to have to do, but it's totally a thing. Oh, Izzy turned up. Hello, Izzy. How's it going? Yeah, life is about balance. And yeah, I've been out of balance for quite a few years, I think. Just like, pursuing professional teaching for 6 years. Um, it made things go a little weird in my head, I think. I always joked about the taking leave as a teacher. It does nothing for you. All it does is teleports your deadlines closer. You can't just take a week off and then say to all your students, this term's going to run 1 week later than officially. And because I needed to take some time off, and it's still going to take me the same amount of time to prep and everything. So the whole term is going to start in week 2 and end in week 11 instead. And people are like, no, you can't do that. And it's like, well, in that case, my leave is meaningless. And I think that that's something that really, really happens to a lot of academics, especially in like, if you've got a compressed system like UNSW's where you don't actually have enough time to wrap up a term, take a break, and then start the next term. Yeah, it sort of built up in me, and I was like, really kind of nice to now learn how to relax again. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, Izzy, tired and burnt out. Yeah, I get that. I understand the feeling. I guess you know that I understand the feeling. Yeah. Zero saying you remember the feeling after finishing high school, stressed about not doing anything, even though there was nothing to do. Yeah, I think it's tough. It's tough to take those breaks when you're supposed to take those breaks. Yeah, and it's hard because then I think one of the worst things is like you feel obligated to break. So you feel like you're supposed to be taking breaks, and then you feel bad if you can't take the break that you're supposed to be taking, and that makes you feel worse. Yeah, and I think getting back around that is good. So I think there's plenty of places, plenty of companies and stuff out there in the world who know this. It's not a mystery, but there's a lot of companies that know it and are careful with this and work around this. And then it's like, okay, if we never overload people, then they'll always be working at their best. And so they're just careful about that and things are okay. But yeah, it's been tough. But I think yeah, I'm getting around to like starting to work with that better, and then thinking about the next time I go looking for work, having that kind of thing as nearly a requirement of where I'm going and what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to turn my camera across a bit because I'm going to be over here. So it's a bit of a side-on view of myself that I'm seeing there, but that's cool. So over here, I like this actually because it's actually like a little bit like I'm doing an unboxing. Okay, so this is the scene I was going to build today because I thought like the reason I bought this is you can kind of see it's like a super, super iconic scene from Star Wars. So gonna do this. It's quite funny. This is actually a bit like an unboxing because I've got the light up case here and they're all still sealed. I don't think I've opened either of these. They've still got the sticky tape sealing them. So we're gonna unbox this and then we're gonna build it. I should have put that on the video because that's like a keyword that gets you YouTube views, right? I have no idea. But yeah, okay, so let's open this. I think this lightbox bit is not going to be a surprise because I've shown you the other one already. Oh, sorry. I should open this where you can see it. Yeah. It's a little bit tight. Oh, there we go. There we go. Camera's a little bit zoomed in, isn't it? Maybe it'll be okay when I start working on really small stuff. You're kind of going to want it to be zoomed in. Halogen's like, yeah, it would be cool at this angle to do a time-lapse video. Yeah, it would be super cool. I've seen people doing time-lapse videos of their miniature painting. And for me, I'm kind of like, how can you hold that thing in the same position like that? Like, I can't do that. When I'm miniature painting, it's going to be like moving around like that. The time-lapse will be mostly meaningless if I did that. Yeah, even has the X-Acto knife, such an unboxing vid trope. Yeah, totally. People have their wait, where is it? Yeah, their special knives. This is actually like a wait. Where's the focus? Focus is down here. There's the actual modeling knife. And like I've got all like the spare blades for. I could put a new blade in for tonight, but like I don't need to. It's not actually blunt yet, but Hi Solux, how's it going? Your message. YouTube tried to moderate it. You had to start an assignment that was given to us in week 4. We are productive as fuck. Look, as long as it's not due too soon, it should be possible to still do it. I mean, heaps of assignments when we set them are set with the idea that people have to do other stuff as well. But then again, if you had like 5-6 weeks for it, it would be kind of hard to do now. Halogen was saying you desperately want the camera stability to record time-lapse of and stream crafts to your friends. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, right? Like, anything you're gonna do with crafting is gonna move around a bit. Like, I've even got this cutting mat here, which is what I use when I'm like crafting miniatures and stuff like that. This is just my thing to remind me what you can see. So once I go outside of this, you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. All right, so I've got some batteries over here. Batteries. We'll chuck these in. Like, it has nothing to light up yet, but like we'll just chuck in and make sure it's working. It's a pretty simple thing, right? It's just 3 LEDs there, like that, and a thin piece of plastic which is going to act as a diffuser for them. Put it that way. And if I press the button at the top, we get the light coming through. Oh, wow. Let me just tip that, because all you can see is the reflection of the massive array of LEDs that is my my hobby lamp. We've got a few different colors. The diffuser is not doing great by the looks of it. Oh, I was wondering what that was, and I realized that these LEDs are going to be hard to see. There are 3 LEDs, but they're actually one's red, one's green, and one's blue. So they're pure color LEDs, and so any color is just going to be a mix of them. I don't know how well that's showing up in the camera. It seems to be just blooming out. But you can kind of see that some of them are turning on and off. And then when you see the cycle, you see them going through like that. That's actually kind of cool just watching that cycle through the 3 LEDs, and that'll go through different colors. So I guess, in terms of colors, it's going to look much better with the diffuser doing it. And also, once this scene is in front of it, it's going to change how it looks. So yeah, cool little toy. And it's just going to be in this nice little plastic case, which is made for these, so it's exactly the right size to fit this inside it. Exactly the same way that this Godzilla one fits. Ah, yeah, Dean. That would be pretty cool. Like a loading GIF that was just cycling through 3 colors. Yeah, I don't know if Google or Microsoft used to do that, where they would cycle through colors as they were loading stuff. Maybe it was Google Chrome or something used to do that. Okay, so here is the actual paper stuff. So let's just cut this out. I love that you were like laughing at the unboxing trope of having a knife for unboxing things. Yeah, this knife is used. I'll show you what I was working on today. This plane that I'm using for Aeronautica, they have the ability to run the Imperial planes, which is the human planes stolen by orcs. So I've got this one that's been like, you can see I've drilled holes in it to show kind of how it was shot down, and then rebuilt by the orcs and repurposed. So I started working on that earlier today. The particular kind of knife is a trope. Yeah, totally. Like, I feel like it's so funny whenever people have hobbies. There's always this kind of, what do you spend your money on in the hobbies? So you get like, yeah, Dean's like, I just use a kitchen knife if I was opening a box, yeah, or just a pair of scissors or something. But like, I always laugh because when I'm doing like wargaming stuff, we sometimes like to have custom dice. And so you'll get a box of like 20 or 30 custom dice to use your Warhammer stuff, and that definitely goes across to people playing Dungeons and Dragons and things. Is like they will. Like I've seen, like I actually spent that as well. Spent like $150 on a custom set of polyhedral dice, just because it's like, it's just fun, and it's like something where you've got your hobby budget and you can throw it in. When you're wargaming, your hobby budget tends to just go into all of your miniatures and your rules and stuff like that. Whereas D&D, I think, is a much cheaper game to get started in because you only really need one miniature, or even not. Plenty of games play where the GM will just be like, yeah, well, here's a miniature that roughly matches your character. You can just use this. So you can be like, when you start a new character, you're going to be with them, hopefully, if you don't get them killed for a couple of months. You get a custom set of dice for them. You spend like $100 and stuff. Yeah. It also says, you have an unboxing knife. It's my work supplied box cutting knife that we use to break down pallets of stock. Awesome. All right, let's continue this unboxing. So I'm opening the packet here, and we're going to see what's inside. So we have a pack here of all of the pieces of paper that we're going to be building together to make that little diorama. The rest is empty. I'll put that away. We have our instructions. I assume these are our instructions. So, I don't read Japanese, but then, heaps of these things, it's not super important whether you can whether you can read the specific text, because it tends to be that the diagrams are very, very good. I don't know anyone here does Gunpla or anything, but like you find you don't need the language because they're just very well drawn, so you can tell exactly what's happening. Yeah, so step by step, do this bit first and this, and so what we're going to do is end up building the depth of this diorama, and then hold it together with these pieces, which are a bit reflective, but these pieces here. Yeah. Oh, Halogen was like, yes, you double checked, and the Totoro model you showed the other day is the same brand as these models. Yeah. We bought quite a few of them when we went to Japan because we thought they looked really cute. I don't have any of the Totoro ones anymore. I think we gave them to friends. So they might be built and sitting in other people's houses that I know, or they might be like mine, have been sitting on a shelf for a long time. Okay, so let's get some of these pieces out. Going to be a little bit gentle with this so I don't bend anything before we get started. Ah, it was Kinokuniya. So I was wondering if these are still in production. Like, I could understand if they weren't, because, like, what? I bought mine, like, 5 years ago or something, but then sounds like maybe they are. And they're very cute. I only have 2 of the light-up displays, so I'm gonna have just 2 of them for the moment. But I think they'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so here is, if you can see that, tip it either way a bit. These are the side bits and the bits on the corners that are going to hold the thing together. So I'll just put them off to the side for now because they're not the main thing that we're going to be starting with. But here, and nicely enough, it's going to be hard to see unless I put it there. You can see that they're numbered, so we know which one's which. So they're going to go number 1 at the front through to number, I think it was 6 at the back. And it's just a matter of cutting these out and getting them all sorted. So they appear to go in a front to back order as well. So I'm going to put these off to the side and start working on number 1. So they look like very precision laser cut, like they're very, very kind of sharp detail. And so if I wanted to, I could probably just twist these and pop them out, but I don't want to risk damaging anything or changing its shape by doing that. So what I'm going to do instead is be very careful and cut these things at the points where they're joined up. Can actually cut it. This is the nice thing about having the high quality hobby knife, is you can get a really, really clean cut on these things. And your fingers, depending on the situation. I've only cut myself with this knife once. And it was because I was overseas at a conference. Oh, if anyone took Comp 1511 with me in 2019, the conference that I went to was a miniature painting conference called Adepticon in the US. That was like in week 6, I think, or week 7. I can't remember. I know I was booked in before I got the job, so I was like, I can do this. I think Jashang took the lectures for a little while. Yeah, and that was the one time that I cut myself because I was super jet lagged, hadn't quite slept properly, and then I was cleaning a miniature and just ran it into my finger. It was a little bit nasty, but like, you know, a couple of band-aids over the next few days and it was fine. Halogen saying, yeah, they definitely look laser cut. Would recommend cutting for the paper pieces, which are all of them for you. Twisting didn't work that well for me. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think that the twisting is going to give us a nice result. I think it's it's just gonna be whatchamacallit, very likely to damage or tear or something like that. Okay, number 2 has this Rebel Alliance symbol here, which I'm being told on the instructions goes in this little circle here. So let's put this aside and cut this symbol out. The pale blue is much easier to work with. I guess the black, it's easy to kind of miss details. And I'm pretty sure since this is number 2, that this section in the middle is going to get cut out as well. Also, nice thing having a super sharp knife, right? Like you can just press it into it quite gently, and it pops out. Halogen saying, yeah, less tearing, but bending is the issue. Yeah. Dean, so you don't recommend taking modeling knives to conferences? I mean, like, if it's a modeling conference, then definitely you're going to need your modeling knife. It's the only conference that I go to nowadays. Oh, then also not just those conferences, but gaming conferences like PAX and stuff like that. I'll be going this year. I might actually be well, actually I haven't made any plans, but I will try to go this year. I'll probably be teaching miniature painting there. Anyone here go to PAX? I think it can be a lot of fun. I'm a bit snobbish about it nowadays because I haven't paid for PAX in years. Because the company I used to work at was games related, so obviously didn't pay to go there. They paid me to go. Paid me to go and chaperone a whole bunch of students so that they would get their good experience of a gaming conference, and also the idea of presenting their games at said gaming conference. But after that, I was like on a panel about miniature painting for quite a few years. 3 years, I think. But now I don't know. I don't know what happens now. Like things are like kind of up in the air again. So I might actually pay my PAX ticket for the first time in 5 or 6 years. Olivia's asking, just curious, what does a gaming conference entail? Never really gone to one, so I'm wondering what it involves. So, let's say something like CanCon, which is the dumbest name, but also heaps of conferences have dumb names, and it's actually kind of cute, so it doesn't matter. But CanCon is the Canberra conference, and it's a big thing that has board games and war games and miniatures games and all that kind of stuff. So you get your Warhammers, and you get like a board games library, so you can go in there and just with the ticket that you have, you can go in there and just borrow board games, play them, and then give them back from this library. So it's just really fun. And there's a big secondhand store there where you can buy and sell things. Last time I went to one of those, 2019, or maybe it was 2020, because it was in January, so I think it was before COVID had sort of made it to Australia. I sold like $700 worth of old board games and things, and so I covered my entire trip by selling off the things that I wasn't playing, and just like turning my pile of shame into funds, which is nice. So at the conference, you would potentially enter a tournament if you're playing a particular game. So for me, it might be like a Warhammer 40,000 tournament or something like that, or another game, Infinity, that I play. And then you'd play a few games a day at that tournament, and the rest of the time at the conference, you can go around and look at the stalls and stuff. So heaps of people who are local, like Australian, who are selling things alongside those games, or even just the board game shops like Good Games, and stuff like that, are all there. And stuff tends to be discounted at a conference, so you'll get a good deal on a lot of things. So it's one of those things where you're there for a weekend, you catch up with people who you might know from interstate, because heaps of stuff's online. We meet each other online, and so you don't know. It can be hard to meet people. So when you go to the conference, you catch up with people who you haven't seen from other parts of Australia, or even other parts of the world. And it's a big social thing. You get together because you're in, you share similar interests and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of, laser cutting. It's definitely laser cut. There's a little brown burn there. You can't even see it, I think, on the camera, but you can definitely tell that it's been burnt just a little bit by the laser. Yeah, so there's like a lot of tournaments, secondhand stores, vendor stores, and stuff like that. So you go and you buy and sell stuff. You hang out with people, and it's like social events in the evenings where you go out to dinner and things. Usually at CanCon, I go and enter the what used to be called the Crystal Dragon. I think it's now the Crimson Brush. Wait, Crystal Dragon, Crimson Dragon, something Dragon. No, Crystal Dragon's the one in the US. But yeah, no, Crystal Brush is the one in the US. Crystal Dragon was the one in. Anyway, yeah, there are lots of names. But anyway, it's the national painting competition that happens once a year in Canberra. So that's what I'm usually doing at CanCon, hang out with friends there. Sometimes they manage to invite like an international guest over, and they will teach us specific painting techniques. And so we do some lessons there and stuff, hang out with friends, do some painting, enter the competition, check out everyone else's work that's built up over the year, and things like that. So there's heaps of like, it's that kind of thing. If we're talking like computer gaming, I should actually do some of this crafting. I knew this was like, it was so fun. I was talking to my partner, she's like, how long is this crafting taking? And I was like, oh, I could finish this thing in half an hour. So if it's on stream, it's going to be like 2 to 3 hours. Because I'm going to stop and talk about it heaps as well. And just talk about other things. What was I going to say? Yeah, so PAX has heaps of demos from companies. So heaps of big companies will come, like, PlayStation, Microsoft, and other big companies will come and show games that haven't been released yet and stuff, and there'll be hype around them, and you'll get to play a demo version of them that you wouldn't get to play if you're just at home. So I think that's some of the joy of PAX. And also like the cons that you get to see around a bit, around Sydney and stuff like that, are like Supernova and Oz Comic Con and stuff like that. And that's just general pop culture stuff. So you're going to see some really cool cosplay, local authors with their books and comics and stuff, local artists, as well as like if you're into collectibles and stuff like that, you'll see heaps of cool stuff there as well. So I tend to go to like all of these just because, like if it's like a couple of hours for one day, it's fun to get to just walk around and see what's happening, even if I don't buy anything, because sometimes I don't buy stuff because after a while you've bought enough collectibles for one life, and so you're just looking at things instead. And so even if I'm not there to shop and stuff, it's fun to see stuff. Sometimes I just buy artwork and stuff that I see there as well. Okay, so getting back to the crafting, got my glue here. This is woodworking glue, but paper is wood, so it works just as well for that. And I've just got a brush here that I'm going to use for the glue. Oh yeah, Halogen was just asking. So it's like pretty standard. It's just PVA glue. Like this isn't even a particular brand or anything. I have multiple tubes of this just sitting around. So here's Tacky Craft glue, which I think is also PVA. You can tell how much I've used this one by how much dust there is on it. Thank you, Chicken, for making my house incredibly dusty. And I've got some more PVA here. So this is just random bits of PVA that I've collected over the years, and I use it so rarely that I'm never going to get through them. So it's funny. I think you can see kind of in the corner of the screen there, just the gooey bits. They're dry glue. So I've just got a bit of paper there that I will put the glue on, and then I'll dab it on with a paintbrush so that it's very exact. I'm not about to take this bottle and just, I'm not going to put it over it now, but just start gooping it onto this model. It's too precise. I want to be more precise than that. So yeah, so I'm just going to put some on this bit of paper here. You won't really see it because, it's not super important to be able to see that. Take my brush from my little friend here. Thank you, little friend, for holding my brush. And some glue. I've actually got over here. Oh no, can't really see it. But I've got like my paint water. So this is just my cup. This actually, you can tell I was painting something red. And I haven't changed it over because I don't really have to. But I will keep my brush a little bit wet so that the glue doesn't permanently turn this into like a no longer a brush, but a single stick of glued together bristles. Okay, so we have this little bit of glue here. And I'll just put this glue on this, and then I'll put this in position, and I'll try to make sure that this lines up correctly. Just get the rotation on this right, because I don't want it to be not upright. Actually, I can line this up here. That seems correct to me. Yeah. And so this glue is pretty good because it's going to stick quickly, as well as be quite permanent and hold these things together. I'm just rinsing out my brush now, because this is a brush I use for painting sometimes as well, but it's not a serious brush. It's a synthetic fiber brush. This is like a $5 brush at most. So I'm happy to use this for this kind of glue. I mean, if I use it for super glue, I would murder the brush. It would be dead. But PVA glue is not that rough on a brush like this. Halogen saying for paper models, you usually use an old pair of compasses from high school and use the sharp points to spread classroom glue stick glue on the pieces. Oh yeah, 100% that works. Because like normal glue stick for gluing paper together, 100% going to work because this is paper, right? Got my tweezers as well in case I need this for detail work, but I think I've done all the detail work. We'll see. The Godzilla one had a few layers that were glued on, so that's going to be at the front. This is going to be the second layer. And I don't think there's actually anything else in the second layer. There's no gluing. Yeah, so the Godzilla one had, if you see Godzilla there, take this off so you can see the texture on Godzilla. So there's the black outline of Godzilla, and then there's a glued on piece which is like the black texture, and there's another glued on piece which is the white texture, and then the little plane. That was quite precise, and these little sort of army tanks that are fighting Godzilla were also glued on pieces and stuff. But the Star Wars one actually looks much easier. It doesn't seem to have the same kind of like, please glue all these pieces together to get this going. But okay, so we've done some gluing. So that's number one, and then number two. I'll put them aside for the moment, and we'll go on to number three. So number three is like the cool bit. So this is the actual characters in the scene, Leia and R2-D2. Just cut the little joins. Might do a little bit of cleanup here because I don't know if you can see there's some little bits and pieces that are stuck to it, but are definitely not part of the model. Oh, 100% obvious that this is laser cut now. You see the burns on the backside of it. Just gonna clean off these little bits and pieces that are not part of the model, but just part of the paper that is still stuck to it. Try to do this without actually damaging it. That looks good. Just cut this little piece off here. Just want to get rid of all of the tiny bits of frayed paper so that we get this nice clean outline. There you go. So with those bits removed, the outline is very, very clean now. So that's going to be there. So you can kind of see this is all just together and 2D for the moment, but once I slot them into their holders, it'll get that nice depth. But you can already see the sort of composition of the image here, and looks pretty cool. Alright, now starting the background bits. This is number 4, which is the tunnel behind them. It's harder to work with the black bits. I can't see as clearly where the joins are that I'm trying to cut. Alright, there we go. Actually, looking at this, I wonder how much of that LED lighting in the background's even going to show through. Because like this background piece is already covering up most of it. That looks pretty cool though. Like, and once it's got that 3D effect, it's going to look pretty cool. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. On to number 5. There's something also really kind of joyful about doing little things with your hands like this. It feels like a combination of it's like creativity and meditation at the same time. It's kind of why I love painting so much. Because it gives you that kind of feeling of just doing sometimes quite simplistic but careful and meticulous tasks that allows you to kind of switch your brain into a different mode. And I think, we were talking earlier about learning to relax and stuff like that. I think a lot of these things are really helpful for that. So I'm just going back to this black one here because I realized in these lines that are cut out, there's a few of them that still have the bit of paper just sort of loosely stuck there. I'm going to clean that out so it's nice and pretty. You want everything to look exactly as it's intended, not have any of the little bits stuck in them. I think that's good. This one doesn't look like it's got any pieces stuck in it. But you can totally tell it's laser cut, right? That is so precise for that scale. For scale, this is a centimeter grid here, right? So like these little cuts here are like tiny little sub-millimeter designs. I like that already. I like the design. It's very cool. And number 6, this is the one at the very back. And yeah, it's like really, really clear that not much of that lighting is going to get through. But I think that we'll see once we put it in with the diffuser, it'll kind of bleed around the sides of it, I think, and might still look really, really cool when it's lit up just a little bit. Cutting around, but not the actual spot. Okay. Go. We have a look at how this... Oh, the colors are really beautiful. Like, they've just got this nice color balance between the blue and the red here that just looks really cool. Such an iconic scene as well. Okay, so this is actually much easier than I thought because there was only one little bit of gluing. I got the glue out and everything, and it wasn't super necessary. Okay, so now let's get the side pieces, and these are the things that's going to hold this together and hold the sheets of paper apart from each other, which I think is the main kind of like coolness of this thing. Is like it's the 3D diorama nature of it. Didn't cut that completely. I guess that's the thing, like I'm using a knife on an angle, and I don't get all the way through the cardboard each time I cut. Did that time. Okay, so I've got all of my, I don't know, I guess you'd call them sides and corner bits. Easy saying feel bad for not doing your assignment, but you just hacked your Switch. What are you doing with it so far? Is it running Linux? The hacked Switch? I don't know whether don't know exactly how hacking a Switch works, but I assume that what you're doing is putting another operating system on it. Okay, so I have a little description of which bits go where. So it looks like the short ones are in the top and the bottom, so that they don't sort of interrupt the image. And the big ones are in the bottom corners, so that it stands up on its own. And then the medium-sized ones are in the top corners. So this is the funny bit, actually, is putting this together so that because I can't put multiple of these on at the same time because they all have to go inwards. So I'm going to put one of them in that's going to space them out, and then start putting the other corners on to hold it all together. Bob saying, "Hey Mark, you were my graphics lecturer last term ever at uni. I want to say thanks for making a fantastic and memorable experience." Oh, thank you very much, Bob. That's really nice of you to say that. It's always super nice to hear from students who were part of just a certain time and place, and if I was able to help you enjoy what you're doing, because learning's not supposed to be a struggle. It's supposed to be a wonderful discovery of things, and so if you had a great time, that's really wonderful to hear. So Izzy saying, "Oh, you're extracting compiled games to reverse engineer the newest updates." Ooh, interesting. That's kind of cool. So you like picking them apart and finding out how they work and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Nintendo lawyers, heavy breathing. Look, they're not gonna be watching this. I hope. I mean, like, would I ever get big enough to attract Nintendo's attention? I very much doubt it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm sliding the sheets of paper one by one from the back to the front into the slots that they're supposed to be in. And this thing will get quite fragile at this point, because I don't want to bend any of these while I'm doing this, but they also don't have enough with this one corner to hold them into position. So what I'll do after I've got these slotted in, like so, is I'll go across to the opposite corner and start to build up their structural integrity is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, you're picking at the assembly that the disassemblers provide. Do you get into that? Have we had this conversation before about like low-level, high-level programming? Seems like you're someone that likes the nuts and bolts end of the programming. Just gonna carefully slide this in. Alright, so there's the 6 of them there, and you're starting to get an idea of the 3D nature here, but it's still pretty fragile. So I'll go for the opposite corner, put this one on there. Izzy is like, yeah, we have, totally. Yeah. So it's x86 assembly. And so now that they're all here, I can't slide them in one at a time. So what I'm going to have to do is line this thing up with all 6 of them. and get it all in at once. So just gently trying to do this without, because I think taking a bit of time to do this is better than accidentally bending one of them. Yes, there we go. There we go. All right. So we've got the two corners holding it together. It's still a little floppy, but you can see the shape that it's going to be once I get the rest of these pieces onto it. Okay, so let's go this side. This bottom corner. It's actually got, I don't know if you can see it, trademark Lucasfilm, and on the other corner it had a Star Wars logo. So I was going to say, if I don't put it in the light case, you'll see them, but you'll still see them in the light case. This thing's much easier to work with now. It's nearly holding together on its own. Okay, so this, some little subtle things in this that make it easier is that all of these, where they have the slot, I don't know if you can see it there, where the slot is, there's a little beveled edge kind of thing, which makes it easier to get that piece in. So it's not just a slot cut out of it. It's got a little rounded corner that allows me to find that perfect position more easily. Is that? I think that's it. Yeah. I don't know if this is supposed to go in any further than this, but I don't want to. Oh no! I don't know if you can see this, but in this blue one here, you know the other ones I was pretty careful to cut out the bit of paper that had been laser cut? I don't know if you can see this clearly, but this one here, and this one here, that one there, they all still got that bit of paper in it. I'm gonna try to carve these out without any backing. Get my tweezers in here to pull that. There you go. Especially because it's the 1 second from the front, so it's super visible. Let's see if we can get these pieces out cleanly. All right. The nice thing about the 3D thing is when they fall in, they just fall through. Hey Donna, how's it going? All right, that's not too bad. Okay, one more piece in here. Okay, that's good. That's good. They're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's good here. How are you? Get it? Get it? That was a Star Wars quote, by the way. I thought it was really funny actually when I was when I first started teaching. Not first started teaching, but started teaching at university and stuff like that. And I would quote things, and I'd be like, I can quote this. Everyone knows this. And then you think about it, and just Mark, you're quoting things that are they were old before people were born. I think you need to figure out what you can quote. Okay, so I just cleaned some out of this black one here as well, so that's good. I think I built the front couple before I realized that some of the fine lines would still have the cardboard in them. Okay, so let's go for this other top corner. Is he saying, pretty sure it uses ARM, but when extracting XCI files in disassembler, it produces x86 assembly. Yeah, I guess it's going to be like that, right? Because in the instruction set's not 100% like when you're decompiling it, you can actually decompile it to many possible languages in a sense, because the compiled has no necessarily no knowledge of what language it was before it was compiled. Not all. I don't know. Some languages might. But you know, the machine doesn't care about what the human wrote. It only cares about what it's going to use. x86 assembler is hard. XCI is the cartridge format, right? Oh, Dongshu said there's a binary exploitation course. 6771? Or is that C++ you want? It's funny, this one should be the easiest one. But, oh no, there it goes. There it goes. It's funny, because it's like, it's got to get past the sticking point for all 6 at once, and then it just slides in really easily. Okay, that's actually nearly 100% stable, but obviously not going to leave out any pieces of this. So these are the extra ones that don't go through the front plate, because I think it's just more aesthetically pleasing if the ones in the middle, top and bottom don't go through the front frame of the diorama. Okay, that one there. It's looking like it's holding together very well on its own now. Minimal effort on my part. Voila! We are done. So, moving this thing around, you can see the 3D-ness of this. Is actually like really quick and easy to do if you're keen to do these things. I don't know how much. Wait, let me check. How much do these things cost? I'm just going to the Kinokuniya website to see if they've got them. I think they're called Paper Theatre. I'm not seeing any, unfortunately. So maybe they don't have them anymore, but maybe someone else has them. Paper Theatre, shop, Paper Theatre. Okay, Mighty Ape has got them for about $30 each. Sugoi Mart has them. Is Sugoi Mart something available in Sydney? Or is this just an American site? Oh wow, what a rabbit hole. There's so much cool stuff here. You can build little, like, sushi shops and ramen stands. Let me see if I can... That's not exactly... That chicken cam's a little bit broken on this one. But, yeah, you can see some Pokemon stuff here. Some Dragon Ball stuff. Oh, there's round ones that go inside a crystal ball kind of thing, and there's some Totoro ones. Wait, this is more than that. This has got, like, grass and stuff like that in it as well. But yeah, there's heaps of these. Ooh, there's Evangelion stuff. One Piece as well. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know where Sugoi Mart is. Dongshu's like, yeah, it's a sushi shop. Yeah, totally. Halogen saying, Kinokuniya's site doesn't usually have that many of the other products. Yeah, right. That makes sense. They may still have them. If you go there in person, then I think it's nice also to go there in person and see what they are. But there's so much cute stuff here you could build the same as what I'm doing here. Anyway, let's go back to the other scene, because I haven't set up my I haven't set up my cameras at the moment, because the current camera that I usually use for Chicken Cam is the one I'm using for the overhead hobby cam at the moment. So let's go back to the other scene. Oh, excuse me. Sushi shop is really cool. Yeah, totally. This is quite funny. I'm going to end up in a end up buying a whole bunch of that stuff, and then just doing a whole series of hobby streams instead of game streams. I don't think anyone would complain. I did that, I think it would still be kind of fun and interesting. Okay, so let us. I mean, especially if I start building like those kind of plastic models and stuff like that, because like I do have a lot of like it's actually it's more difficult than these, but I've got a lot of experience with that kind of stuff, so I can show you tricks and things like that. Okay, so into the light box, put the cover on. Where's our reflection? Yeah. Oh wait, light box. Oh no, it's not upside down. It's just sideways. Okay, I'm trying to make this so that there you go. You get the reflection of my face. So that way. Oh no, you know what I'm gonna do? That's what I'm gonna do. Turn at least one of my lights off. I'm gonna turn this light off as well. I'm gonna turn the room. Okay. We have very little light now, so that the light is gonna be the. Ooh, oh, that looks really cool. Oh, it looks so good because there's just this little cutout of where the light can get through. And so it's just like that thing is glowing. That looks so cool. It's just having that lovely kind of precision laser cutting at the final as the final back plate. So that means that that light through the diffuser just lights it up like it's that little frame emanating light. So cool. Hang on. My monitor here is like super bright. There you go. I love it. I'm just like just sitting here watching it cycle through the colors. Mm, yeah, super cool. And it's kind of nice though, because like that looks cool when it's silhouetted, but when it's not, it also looks cool because it's got this 3D, the 3D look and the layers of colors of the actual paper. So it looks cool in the daytime, and then in the nighttime, it also looks really cool, but in a very different way. That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. Actually, now that I've got this light and dark set up, let me go to the other one. Let's go. Let's see what Godzilla looks like. I'm just gonna switch the modes until we get to the. Oh. Oh no! What's happening? Oh no! Why is it not? Oh no! Have I broken it? Alright, I'm just gonna pop the batteries out and back in again. Have you turned it off and on again? Alright, okay, it's good. It's good. I don't know if I went through all of the options there and then just went, oh, I'm not turning it on anymore now that all the options are done. I want to get the Oh, the red looks really cool with Godzilla. How cool does that look? But I just want to get to the color cycling one. Is this the cycling one? No. No, it's still just going through different possible primaries. Oh yeah, here we go. Donna, yeah. Red makes so much sense for Godzilla, right? Because it's like that kind of feeling of that it's come through and it's just like burning the whole city. But yeah, this one gets more of the lighting in the background, but also works quite well because Godzilla is just this black silhouette then. So you get that kind of look, or this kind of look where you suddenly get all of the cool colors from the diorama itself, so you can see the flames in the color of the paper. So you just get a cool little ornament you can put in your house, and like in the daytime, it's like just turn it off, right? It looks cool like that. And in the nighttime, you can either let it cycle through the colors or pick the color that you think matches the diorama the best, which I think is like this fiery burning red for this Godzilla one, like this, and get yourself a cool little ornament. So now I've got two of them. like this, and I've run out of light boxes because this is like I only bought 2 light boxes because the light boxes were like I think they cost more than one of the dioramas. That's cool. So I'm just getting mesmerized by the RGB cycle. You get that, right? I think we all get that where you see an RGB cycle, it's like you just sit there watching it. It's like the modern version of the mesmerized by the candle flame kind of thing. Mm, very cool. Very cool. All right. Turn some of these lights back on. Just turn these off. Save their batteries. Not that not that I think their batteries are even remotely at risk, because it's what I call it. Just a couple of LEDs. Mark Moth mode, yeah, totally right. I was just like, ooh, look at this. Yeah, so that was fun. I'm gonna leave these here, still on screen. Yeah, love how chicken is unbothered. Yeah, chicken's completely unbothered. She's kind of like. Although the funny thing is, I don't know if you can see, but you can see her ear there. It's aimed at me, so she's listening to my voice. And if I walk around the room, actually watch her ear. I'll walk around and I'll stay talking, and then her ear should turn and follow me. Are you still listening? Oh, there it is. Did you see that? I don't know how well you can see that on chicken cam, but her ear just went. Yes. Or her eyes opened when I got close. Um, but she's just kind of got that little grumpy face, which is like, go away, I'm sleeping. Yeah, it's pretty funny because she can be like asleep, but then she's still like listening. So she'll just turn her ear to wherever you are and just be like, I still know you're there, even though I'm sort of asleep. Yeah. So that's quite funny. Like I put the glue out and stuff, and thinking that there would be like gluing and stuff to do, and there was actually just a one tiny little bit of it. So I'll put my glue away there, just packing some stuff up, and I should put the lid back on my knife because I don't know where the lid is. I don't want to just spike myself on it. So go. Um, One of the funny things about this knife, which is actually super handy, is this little notch. So that little notch, A, stops it from rolling off the table and like spearing yourself in the leg, which is like a genuine danger with a hobby knife. But it's the direction of the blade. So with the back of your hand, you can tell where the blade is aiming by where you can feel that notch touching your hand. So it means you're not going to accidentally use it backwards, or worse, if you gripping down. Actually, it doesn't matter. I can't feel the notch if I'm gripping down onto it. But trying to make it so you don't press it with your own fingers. So nice little features. I mean, I think this is actually a pretty expensive knife because of Tamiya. So all the Tamiya stuff's imported from Japan. So it's really high quality stuff. But I bought it like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's like been solid and done really good work for me for a long time. What are we talking about? Oh, everyone's still talking about disassembling stuff. ARM is similar to MIPS. Maybe consider this to be studying for 1521. Yeah, totally. It is. All tinkering counts as computer science studying. I mean, heaps of it is like heaps of things is even just systematic thinking is going to help you with computer science. Like, think about the number of people who are in computer science because they played Minecraft as a kid. Like, and that's all just about systemic thinking. I'm just going to have my little brush holder cat friend here celebrating the completion of my little hobby thing. Don't you? In that case, I've been studying every night till 4 a.m. Well, I don't think you realize sometimes how much you're actually getting out of all of that tinkering. Like, I got so much out of like just playing around with things, even like music production. So all the stuff about music production, about like tweaking frequencies and like sequencing and stuff, that ended up feeling very much like programming, where you set things up in a particular pattern of things that are going to happen one after the other, and you realize that's just procedural programming, you know? So yeah, it was pretty funny. Like, this is just like, I don't know if you've been to like Regent Place in the city, in the CBD. There's this little gacha place at the bottom. Um, and so I saw these cat pencil holders, and I thought, this is going to be hilarious. I'm going to get one of these and put it on my desk and put my brushes on it. Let me show you a demo. So it's a little pause there. We'll hold the brush. It's so unstable though, like the slightest bump. Oh, actually, no, that's fine. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I was going to say the slightest bump and it's going to lose it. So it's not really very useful as a brush holder. But you know, it's cute, so it doesn't have to be useful. Nicole says, "Hello, besties from Olympic Park post Easter show." Wait, is the Easter show on now? I haven't gone to the Easter show in a long time, but like I didn't realize it was on now. But hello, Nicole. How's things going? I've run out of content. It's I was doing this hobby thing, and it took, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. It was quite funny because I thought that like the Godzilla one definitely took longer because of all the gluing. Um, but I thought that it would take longer than it did, and like me talking about it as I was doing it would take longer as well. But it's done. It's done, but it's beautiful. Um, I actually just really like the composition of this scene. It's like such a iconic scene from the movie. But the tunnel background makes it perfect for this kind of diorama, like the paper theater they call it. It's really funny actually, because if I had done this one first 5-6 years ago, I probably would have gone and done this one, because this one had the intricate gluing bits on bits of work to do. It ended up turning me off these and being just enough difficulty that I couldn't do it, which is, I think, deeply ironic when you think about how much I've done with miniature painting, because that was like half an hour. I have a lot of trouble painting a miniature in half an hour. What is? Oh, Halogen saying, do I have any other sets? I have one other set actually, and Nicole saying, yeah, the Easter show goes for another week and a bit. I have another one because obviously I found some Star Wars stuff, so I've got this one of the Millennium Falcon. Just give me a sec. I'm just gonna break for a minute or two. I just need to go take a short break, but I will be very back. I will be very back. I'll be right back, and maybe we'll build this one because there actually is enough time to build it. I'm just not sure if I want to build it if I don't have a light box for it, but maybe I should anyway because I don't have anywhere to put this one if I build it. But anyway, I'll just be right back. Hello, I'm back. Chicken's up. It's like, you moved. We need a chicken set. Oh, that would be cool. Oh, dog shit. Yeah, yeah. That's the old slide. Hang on, where is it? That slide that I used to use for breaks in the lectures. Um, that's interesting that we could potentially use the laser cutters at UNSW in the maker spaces to do things like this. If we just get reasonably good quality colored cardboard, it is technically possible to do a chicken paper theater diorama. I mean, like, anyone feel up to it art wise to do it? I think that's like one of the difficult things. But in terms of like structure wise of these, like, supporting side pieces and the slots where they go, we could just copy the design exactly from these sets. Cool. See you, Nicole. Have a good trip home. Yeah, so that would actually be quite funny to be able to do that. I don't know. I don't know how possible that is or how hard that is, but could be quite funny. Sorry, I'm just packing away all of these leftover bits and pieces from the previous set. I think we've got enough time. I could put this one together. Limited edition chicken set for comp sci students only. Could do it as a whatchamacallit, like a CSC sock thing. They can sell it for fundraising or something like that. Alright, I'm just gonna turn my hobby light back on. That's kind of nice, actually, that my phone camera just deals with whether this light's on or not. It can kind of compensate quite happily. Yeah, I was just thinking like chicken snooze would work. Yeah, it totally would. Or even the scene she's in right now might work. Olivia's saying you've used the laser cutters back in first year, so it's been a while, but you believe it's all about converting design to vector format using Rhino to connect to the laser cutters. Yeah, right. It doesn't seem, it shouldn't be something that's that difficult to do. Like, I would assume that a laser cutter is inherently more simple to use than a 3D printer because it's just operating in 2 dimensions. Okay. This is funny, actually, considering how quick and easy these things are to do. How I could end up with a house completely full of these things. That would be very silly. But yeah, I'll see you in like a month when I've got like 18 of these things built for no reason. That would be pretty funny. Okay. Oh, somebody just jumped down. You going for investigating? Oh, it's because I put the stuff on the floor next to me. She's come to investigate what it is. No, going for a walk. Goodbye, chicken. We love you. Yeah, she's gone for a walk down the corridor. Either she's going to the bathroom or looking for food. Okay, this one's way more complicated. Look, it's got a much bigger sheet. And it's got all these like instructions for putting things together. Like so. And look at this. I think these are multiple layers glued together so that it's a particular color. Alright, this one's going to be a little bit more involved. This will be fun. Right, so we got the same style of side pieces. This one looks like it has a bit more detail in that it's got forward and back, which means there's actually differing distances between things. So this one's got a slightly different way of doing its diorama. Looks like some movement swooshes. Ooh, they're a little bit stuck together. Oh my god, look at the detail on that. Right, so this is... They're kind of stuck together. Got to get these apart without damaging them. I don't know what is sticking them together, whether they're hooked on each other, whether it's a physical thing or something else. So looking at my instructions here, I'm going to be constructing colors in that direction. And there's a whole bunch of these, what look like Millennium Falcon shapes, but they mustn't be identical. And layering these up over each other is going to get us a cool looking layered, slightly 3D, different colored piece. So looks very cool. It's very cool. And so it's going to have the simple, what I think is like the relatively simple pieces is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Oh, pieces of Cloud City. That's really cool. Yeah. And then one of these is going to be the one that attaches to the actual Millennium Falcon, and it's probably this one. And this is the one that you build up the layers on. Okay, good. So, a little bit more involved this time. So I think that they start at number 1. So we'll take number 1 here, and we're actually going to be cutting most of this stuff out of it, and then saving it for use on other parts. So, just going to take all of these pieces and put them aside while we're working on that. So, number 1, this is the front. The camera's still focused here. Yeah, I moved it a little. I just noticed because I just bumped it with my head. Not perfect here. These lines don't line up. I guess that there's slight discrepancies in the laser cutter's alignment. So we've got that little kind of burr on the edge there, which I think I'm going to try to... Because this is the front panel, I want this to look nice, so I'm going to just try to cut that out and straighten up this side. It's okay. It's like I can see that it's not straight, but hopefully we'll get away with that. Okay, so now cut these pieces out. And these have number 4 and 5 on them, so I'm just going to save them. So this is our front, and it's going to have the words Cloud City on it. So the way they're saying is this is the front, and it's going to have the Rebel Alliance symbol on it. And then on the back, we actually glue a piece on, which is going to have the letters to show through on the front. So I'll just find those pieces. Here's the Cloud City title, so I'm going to need that piece. Another one here. That has the little Rebel Alliance symbol, similar to the last one that we used. So I think this is the more involved gluing and stuff thing that I thought was going to happen on the last one, but the last one was super, super chill. Okay, so there's the Cloud City symbol. I'll put this back over there. And here we have the Rebel Alliance symbol. Alright, so just looking at my instructions over here, I'm looking at the front now, and then the Cloud City bit I'm going to be gluing on the back there. So the Rebel Alliance symbol goes on the front, like so. My glue's still wet here, which is handy. No, it is not. It was just shiny. It wasn't actually still glue. It had already kind of like formed a film over the top of it. So I'll just put a new patch of glue there. Oh no. I don't know if you heard that, but the new patch is a squirt of glue. So now I've got a lot more than I need, and I need to clean up my glue bottle. It's there. Too much. So this little squirt nozzle thing, it's not great. Obviously, it fills up with glue, clogs up, and then you get this much larger than necessary amount of glue for a small paper model. Oh well, it'll be fine. Alright, so we're going to get this piece. We're going to glue it on. I might just shave off that little bit there. I don't know if you can see it. But the little notch that was there was annoying me. Ah, Tawaka, how's it going? I'm doing some papercraft. Is this technically papercraft? I mean, I'm doing crafting with paper, but I know papercraft is like a key word for a particular way of doing things. So, nicely. Oh, they're out to get me. Because I tried to do 2 paper models in one stream. Okay. There's that bit. I'll flip it over and glue the Cloud City piece on. There. So I think I'll put the glue on the white part. Actually, I can put the glue on the blue part. Because I know exactly where it's going to be. Sweet! That looks pretty cool. Little white letters showing through with the blue. Okay, so that piece is ready to go. And then we get number 2. Number 2 is going to be the super involved piece because I showed you before, number 2 is the bit that has the Millennium Falcon. So I'm just going to put this piece over here, let it dry. I actually don't have that much space at the moment. All of my space at my hobby desk tends to be taken up with paint pots and stuff, so the working area is actually not much bigger than what you see here. Okay, so I've got to cut out the bits. Just one more connecting piece there. So the bits that are going to be not part of the background. Also, might as well cut it out of its frame while I'm here. Just seeing Tuaka and Halogen having a conversation there. Hello, you are both alive. That is good. That is actually good to see that you are both alive. Gonna see if there's any bits that I want to clean up on this blue one. Seems to be okay. Oh, there's a tiny hole there. Okay, so this one has a whole series of pieces of Millennium Falcon put on it, and they are numbered 2, 3, 4, and 5. I wonder if there's a 1 there. We'll see. Okay, gonna find all those pieces because I put them here before. So here we have a number 2. These both also say number 2. Oh no, it's A and B. These, which I'm just picking out because I know that they're the shape. Oh, right. They've all got the number 2 because they're all on frame number 2, which is this one. But they have their own order that they're going on based on these instructions. So A, then the cream one, then the B, then the red one, then the light grey one. So which one is which? I'm going to say that A and B are marked. So it's these two first, then the cream one, then this one, then the cream one, then this other grey one. So A, cream one, then B, then the red one, then the bluey grey one. Okay, so I've got them in reverse order of what they're going to be. So we'll take A first. So here, going to want to be quite careful with how I'm cutting this out because it looks super fragile. This is kind of like what the Godzilla kit was like, except this one's got lots of layers. Next joiny bit. It's up there. And down. Okay. This is going to go on here and form the kind of background. The downside now is I have lots and lots of little pieces of cardboard on my cutting mat. Just going to shake them off because they'll get caught up in these details, and then I really don't want to accidentally glue just a random other color of cardboard on here. Yeah, Elegant, as you're saying, should be most area on the bottom, least area on the top. Yeah. Alright. Just testing where this goes. That looks pretty cool. Like, they didn't even need all those layers for this to look cool. Alright, let's get some glue on this. I'm going to put the glue on the grey bit because this is going to have the least likelihood of me just leaving patches of glue there that never get covered up. Trying to figure out how much of this needs glue, but I'm thinking all of the edges are definitely going to need it. Trying to get glue on everything while being a bit sparing with it as well, because I don't want it to get goopy. It's actually probably enough there. Oh, it's so fragile. I just bumped a piece of it and it just bent. Alright, let's line this up. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, as Tawaka's saying, I can always clean it up afterwards if there's too much glue. Okay, so the next one was, as we see here, the cream layer is the next one. So that's this one. Still one more piece. Okay. So intricate. I feel like it's a risk just picking it up. Alright, so this is going to go here. Like so, and some bits will be exposed, but some bits will be covered up. Okay, flip this over and get some glue on it. Whoop. Yes, glue it to my hand. That won't be the first or the last time that I've glued something to my hand as a hobbyist. Okay. Line that up. There we go. There we go. Yep. I'm most worried about these little bits here. Trying to make sure they stick down. The rest of it holds itself together okay, but those bits are quite fragile. Alright. Looking good. Looking good. So the next piece was this other grey piece over the top of that. So that's actually quite a subtle color layer in between the two grey layers. Yeah, it looks really cool, doesn't it? As Nicole say, yeah, found this model making things so fiddly but lots of fun. It's such a a funny thing because it's like it can be really painstaking, but also quite rewarding. But the reward only comes with a bit of work. Okay, so this bit is going to go over that. And we'll get a little bit of it showing through, but not that much. Right. It's like the cream layer is largely structural. There's a tiny bit where it actually has relevance with its color, but most of it's going to be completely covered up by this section. It's funny when you see just the kind of the difficulty level difference between the two pieces that I worked on tonight. The other one was like, yep, cut it out and stick it together. It's good. And this is like paint, glue on, and glue 6 intricate layers of this thing. Right. Okay. Not perfect. Slide that a little. Alright, yeah. Mm, cool effect. Like you can actually you tip it a little bit and you just see the cream layer poking through. Helen is right. Yeah, the packaging should have difficulty ratings. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe it does, but the difficulty ratings are in Japanese, and so we just don't know. Okay, gray layer, then red layer. This is cool. I think we'll see something really cool coming out with the red layer. It'll be this dramatic kind of punch with the color. I wonder if this bit here is meant to be red, or that's an offcut. I'm gonna. Oh no, it totally is. Yep. Yeah, right. Because it sits on that join there. So cool. So cool. Like just how detailed these cuts are. It's amazing. Halogen's like, yeah, they'd be graphics based. Yeah, yeah. I didn't see anything. Wait, where's the packaging? You're right. The diamonds. This has 2 diamonds. The Millennium Falcon. The the um the R2D2 layer 1 has 1 diamond. So there are things that have more diamonds than this that obviously require more gluing. I can't remember what difficulty the Godzilla one was. I haven't looked. But it wasn't as hard as this. And this is only level 2 out of 5. So I don't know what the other levels are, but maybe they're rather than gluing single large pieces on like this, maybe they're gluing a lot of small pieces, and so that's even harder. Because while this has multiple layers, it's not it doesn't feel like difficult work. Stick this piece down. It's funny with the like I'm not perfect with lining things up. I'm close but not perfect, and I can feel the layers sort of wanting to um wanting to be perfect, but then they're not quite. Hopefully, aesthetically, it should look okay once that's done. All right, now we have this final layer on top, but it's not entirely the final layer because there's other just single pieces that are going to go over this. Sit there. It's funny, like I know that because I'm streaming, I should probably be talking, but there's something just kind of quiet and calming about gluing little layers of paper together. So I just naturally go quiet. Mm, looks cool. There's a little bit of paper that should be cut out that's in there at the moment. Let's see if I can shake that out. Oh, it fell in somewhere, but it's not visible anymore, so that's cool. Silence is a vibe. It totally is, isn't it? This actually looks really cool now, doesn't it? Okay, couple more pieces that go on. There's a layer over the cockpit and the center sort of console section. There is the middle of the radar dish, which is going to be black. Oh no, it's not just black. It's going to be black with the radar dish bit on it. Donna, you like the colors? Yeah, I think it's really cool because like when I first looked at it, it was like, oh yeah, there's just heaps of colors. Um, but seeing that some parts poke through and other parts don't, it just makes it look really cool. So this is going to be on top of that. So it's even like even though it's the same color, like they're just adding a little bit of 3D-ness to it, just in certain sections that would poke out. I feel like I should have music playing, but every time I do that, I get in trouble from YouTube. Oop. I bumped another piece, and they're so tiny and fragile. It's very easy when you bump it to like peel one of the layers up. Right, this is going to go on the center here. There. Yep. These layers that I'm putting on right now, you nearly can't even see them, but I think they're just there to add some texture, add some height. Oh, sorry, working off camera there, but that was me painting glue on this piece before it goes on. I just realized once it went on that that's in the wrong place. See if I can lift it. Yeah, I can. Okay, good. Much better. Okay, now it's lining up with the layers below it. A tiny bit of glue in one of those holes there. That's just sort of making it not poke through. Okay, fix that. That's good. All right. Okay. Then we have the shading layer on the radar dish. It's pretty simple. It's just going to be a black dot. Like so. And then the bottom half of that is going to get some shading. 10-hour elevator music. Let's see where this is going to go first. I don't know exactly which angle. Like that. That looks cool. Alright. Get some glue on this. At this point, probably tweezers time, but I'm relying on the tippy tips of my fingernails to hold this. Okay, I am going to go to the tweezers now to at least get this into alignment. I guess that's what the 2 stars means. 1 star means no tweezers. 2 stars means you might need to use tweezers once or twice. Alright. Oops. Is that camera still going? Oh no. I shouldn't have. Oops. So, because I was using my phone, I checked a message on my phone and it's interrupted the camera stream. Give me a second. All right. Here we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. The downside of using my phone as a camera is if I do anything with my phone, it'll swap off that app, and that seems to have turned off the camera when I did it. But anyway, we've got a Millennium Falcon here. It's hard to see the 3Dness of it, but you can kind of see there the layers that I've glued together for it. So it's pretty chunky for a little bit of paper, but looks super, super cool. Okay, so that is... Okay, this one's finished. This way. So that is layer number 2. So we have layer number 1 and layer number 2 there. I'll just leave them to dry there. Okay. Now... No, we're not done. We're not done with layer 2. There's still one more piece that gets attached to layer 2. So in the instructions here, we've got finish there. Now flip it over and glue the movement swooshes to the back, which is this super, super cool piece here. So don't need that. Just going to clean up the bits in there. Flip this over, and you can kind of see where it's going to go, right? There. That lines up perfectly with both of those. Right. Should be a bit easier to glue than the other bits because it's just got these big chunky sections that are going to glue to the back of the last piece. Oh, what is it, chicken? Ah, I don't know if you heard that on the microphone. Chicken was talking to my partner as they went down the corridor together. Should be more than enough glue for this piece. That lines up. What's she doing? My partner's like, I'm trying to push chicken into the room so that she'll go play with you. Okay. Oh, how cool does that look? That looks so cool! Look at all the colors and everything. Wicked. Alright. Looks cool, but I have to put it over there, let it dry, move on to the next piece. Okay. So, what is layer 3? Layer 3 is this one. Looks like it was also just background material for a bunch of the other parts. Let's work that out. Alright, so it's just this cloud section here, which is mostly going to be obscured, I think, but still gives it that nice depth. Oh wait, this is the piece we finished. Like, it just looks so cool. I keep putting it back on in the view. All right, so this is number 3. Number 3 doesn't need any effort. Number 4. Number 4 is here, and number 4 does have some bits and pieces that I need to glue onto it. So it's got some of the background parts, apparently. Let's cut it out of its frame first. Hang on, this piece I don't need. That has a 2 on it. Does that mean it goes on part 2? Oh, it totally does. It's actually in this bottom corner. Okay, we're going back to the awesome looking piece, and we're going to finish that next before moving on. So these clouds in the bottom corner are supposed to have more cloud-like colors than black, which I 100% understand. Right, now this piece is finished. Yeah, so this is going to go in this bottom corner here. And make it look super cool. Man, if this one piece didn't already look super cool, it is now, like, looking amazing. Oops. Gotta get it into the right place, because it kind of slides in behind some of the other parts. Ah, looks so cool. Looks so cool. Okay. Alright. Put that aside to dry. Didn't realize how many more pieces there were. Okay, where were we? Number 4. Number 4 here. Need to cut out the rest of this. How are we doing for time? We're over time. That's fine. It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now that I would usually do a 2-hour stream. We're finishing this thing no matter what. Okay, so it says that I'm going to, on the instructions here, let's just show the instructions. I'm going to flip this over and glue a piece onto the back of it, which is this piece here. And then I'm going to glue another piece to the front of it, and it's going to give us that little piece of background scenery. So let's keep that there. Get this piece ready to be glued in. It's got little cutouts for where it should be, which is nice. So I can see exactly where the corners of this should go. I mean, also lines up exactly with the clouds, so it's not that hard to deal with. This time I might put the paint, instead of on the small piece, might put the paint on the big piece, because then I don't accidentally glue. I said paint, didn't I? Glue. Well, I'm painting the glue on, yeah, but I won't accidentally have glue on the front surface, the visible surface. Okay, that's cool. A little bit of Cloud City in the background. And now we're looking for another brownish colored piece. Don't have many pieces left. Oh, wait, it's here. It's been sitting here the whole time. That is upside down. It is. So it's going to go there. Flipped it by accident. Wait, I didn't flip it by accident. Well, I did flip it by accident, but I flipped it to the correct side, which is good. Alright, this one's definitely going to be tweezers. Just watch me bounce it around for a while, trying to make sure that I uh, don't damage it. Okay, I'm gonna hold it in the middle, put glue on it, and then flip it over. I've been thinking about getting a set of tweezers that are reverse tweezers. Have you heard of reverse tweezers? They're like kind of always stuck together, and you put pressure on them to open them. So it makes it easier when you want to just kind of grip something, that it will be held in the grip with you just kind of maneuvering the tweezers around. But you press to release, which I think is a um, much better way of using kind of delicate tweezers. Yeah, how do you want a set of those as well? We should make an expedition to Hobbyco. I'll meet you there, and then we'll both enable each other to buy more stuff that we should buy. Okay, I think that's everything for this one for number 4. Yes. Okay. I nearly put it on top of one of the little light boxes to dry, and I'm like, if I get glue on one of them, that'll be like a bit annoying. Hello, what are you doing? Chicken's down here and just sort of looking at me. Does sound fun, but you have to get a part-time job first. Yes. Otherwise, it is very, very dangerous. Um, every time I go into the city, it's like, ooh, I'm gonna go to Hobbyco, I'm gonna go to Warhammer, I'm gonna go to these places, and it's like, I don't need to buy anything from any of them. Okay, layer number 5. So number 5 has some stuff we're gonna glue in as well. Window shop at Hobbyco, yeah. I think that's a much smarter way of doing it. I've got, like, as you can see in Chicken Cam in the background, I've got model kits sitting up there that, you know, I guess I could build. I should at some point, but I'm just sort of, I have so many things to do, so many things that I can do, that it's just, there's just too many options. Okay, what are we gluing on here? We are gluing Cloud City itself. I think this piece is finished now. And I flip it. This piece goes on here. Get some glue on this. Flip this back over. And we're going to be gluing the pattern texture onto the front. Just rinsing out my brush so the glue doesn't dry. on it. Right, this piece is now finished. Pile of pile of used bits on the floor over there. It's gonna go on there. I'll just clean it up. Some bits of cut paper still stuck there. In one piece. Alright, got it out. Okay, so that's the way it goes on. Flip it over, get some glue on it. It's a pretty cool background. That's 5. And then number 6. One of these days you will dabble in Gunpla? Yeah. I mean, Gunpla's kind of cool. I actually was really, when I built one recently, it's like the only one I've built in years. It was actually really exciting seeing the engineering that goes into them now. So they've got, like old school, when you think about plastic molding, you think about it being 2 pieces of metal molded, like pushed together, and then the plastic is injected between them and it takes its shape. But nowadays they've got this like multiple mold kind of thing happening where you've got 2 molds and another piece or multiple pieces that are inside. And what you do is they do one mold, they take it apart, they take some of those pieces out, and then they put the mold back together and they re-inject other bits of plastic. And what that means is you can have multiple different types of plastic, multiple different colors of plastic in one sprue. One of the coolest things that I noticed when I found it was like they were like, okay, take this piece out of the sprue and bend it. And you're like, what do you mean bend it? How am I supposed to bend it? And then you take the piece and when you crack it and bend it, it actually sounds like it's cracking when it happens. It forms like a piston joint that slides in and stuff, and they can do these like flexible maneuvers and stuff. So parts that would have been sort of intricate construction on your behalf as the builder are no longer difficult like that. They're actually just they're just kind of like reconstructed multi-part pieces with moving parts and stuff. So it's really, really cool. Okay, so this didn't need anything. Because it's just the background. So there's that background, this in front of it, then this other part of the background, the awesome Millennium Falcon part, and then the frame at the front, like so. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's get these pieces now to put all of this together. Just going to get some of this stuff out of the way so I can cut this. Oh, I actually did a really funny thing with Gunpla. It's not, I guess it's still Gunpla because it's like the Bandai plastic model kits. But I got the Pokemon ones, and I taught a bunch of my kind of, they're not technically my nieces and nephews, but they're like my people who have been my friends for years, their kids. So I got a bunch of the Gunpla Pokemon, and I built them with them, and that was kind of fun because they got to like play in terms of the building, and also they got toys out of it afterwards. It's always funny when I do stuff like that because I'm kind of like, yeah, the kids will love it, and then afterwards I'm also kind of like, was this for me or for them? Just like, don't care. I had fun. Reminds me of my teaching, actually. It's like, Mark, are you doing this so your students get something out of it, or do you just want to tell that story? It's like, shut up. Doing what I want. Okay, so now we piece this together like we did on the other one. The only difference is this is one really heavy piece. Okay, so that's all the 6 layers. Are there 6? Oh, there's only 5 layers on this one. Yeah, there's only 5 layers. These are conveniently built with arrows. So, as far as I remember, yeah, the arrow points forwards. Halogens could be for both. Yes, it is. The kids did have fun. It wasn't all for me. But I think there's also just the joy of, the whole idea of growing up is a silly concept. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 slots here. Where's the other piece that I'm missing? Oh, it was over here. Okay. Abort. Find out where that one's supposed to be before you continue. Okay, so this one's the front, then this one, then these clouds. Yes, these clouds. Then the background clouds. Then the cloud city, and then the sky backdrop. That was so funny. Like I nearly just started putting that together without all its pieces. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've got 6. Dongju, playing Genshin during a lecture is essential to teaching graphics techniques. I think that was actually quite a useful example. I was quite proud of myself. Donna will refuse to grow up. Thank you, Donna. I think that's important, and I think more people need to do that. Because you can be like, what I found is like so funny. It's like the people who kind of say that you should grow up, they're actually like the least mature people. It's the people that never grow up or like, no, I'm actually like putting effort into, keeping an open mind about things instead of people's like, you got to grow up. It's like, no, actually, that's a very sort of like, I don't know how the way to say it, like just a real basic way to live. You can really kind of like, if you do that kind of like, oh, I have to grow up thing, you can end up closing your mind to a lot of the opportunities and just like kind of ideas that should be happening in a life. Halogen saying shows how widespread and accessible examples of those techniques are. Which techniques were we talking about? I can't remember. Maybe it was talking about teaching or something. Okay, let's go for the opposite corner, which I think is one of these medium-sized ones. And this should secure us a bit of structural integrity. Oh, graphics techniques. Oh, yeah, totally. And I think very much when you're teaching graphics, it's like, where are all the examples of cutting edge graphics appearing? And it's like, it's definitely computer games. Like, where else could they be? And anywhere else where they're being used is like really hard to get access to. So, like, you're talking about military simulations or like the inner workings of a film company and stuff like that. And even then, doing the lectures on YouTube meant that like I had to cut a bunch of film content that was potentially going to be in the lectures, and instead just sort of go, This stuff exists. You may have to look it up yourself. So much jiggling these things around to try to get all 6 of them to line up with the slots at the same time. But that's working. Alright, let's get this bottom corner done. The 4th corner is so much easier than any of the others. It's like, yeah, we're nearly ready. Yep. Go. Oh, woo. Gonna finish these first before trying to show it off. This one has way more of the little joiny pieces on it. I'm wondering if I should be gluing these joiny pieces, but they seem to be like staying in quite happily with friction. I guess if I wanted this thing to be really solid and really stable, then I would glue all of these pieces in. But they sit there quite happily on their own. I can see why this one has so many joining bits, because it's got so much weight on that one section that we glued so many layers on. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers glued onto the front of that one, and then a few more layers for the detail bits. Alright, you're saying the paper you don't really need to, but if there's wood, it'll get heavier. Alright. That's sweet! Look at it! Pew pew pew! Wow! You gotta make the noises right. I think that's very important. Okay, let's put this in one of the light boxes. I'm just gonna put away the instructions, we're done with them. Take this other one out. This one in here. Actually, probably want to keep them both out of the light boxes for a little while, because I don't want that glue to try to dry in an airtight container. I don't think that's that great for it. Whee! Alright, now turn off all the lights in the room. Yes, let's see what this one looks like with the lighting. Oh, look at that! Backdrop is so cool. What are the colors? Blue feels right for this one. Oh, but no, it's not blue, right? Cloud City was like an orange kind of light. Ooh, red's it's a bit too sinister. Oh, that actually looks really nice. That, I don't know if that's pure blue or cyan. Yeah, Bespin is like a yellow-orange kind of color. But I don't think, because this doesn't have that much control over the RGB, it's all like all one or the other. So it might have a yellow. Ooh, the yellows. Is that yellow or green? It is yellow. I can see the green and red lit up at the same time. Kind of, but doesn't feel like it's working. Like an orange would be the best, I think. But even these are that just look like a pale blue, like a cyan kind of sky color. Look good. Or we can just let it fade through RGB. The interesting thing is that final layer that I thought was like going to cut off all the light actually makes it look really cool, because then the lighting is kind of line work. I do like that these have a completely different feel in the darkness with the backlight compared to when they're seen in daylight from the front. So I just turn my light back on, and then we get what we were looking at before, where it's a very much a you can see the clouds, and it's like a daytime kind of look to it. But when you turn it off, everything's lit from behind, and it turns into much more of a silhouette. My phone's having to try to deal with the shooting in low light. Having said that, I think smartphones nowadays are like totally quite happy with shooting very low light conditions. Well, that was fun. All right, let me get the two of them out that I built tonight. The difficulty level between the two of them was quite stark. It's quite different. Not that that was super hard, but it was just like, yeah, there was like one piece of gluing here, and this was like I could glue this layer, this layer, this layer, this layer. But it looks cool because of how intricate those layers are. This one just has layer. Get it? This one has layers. Donna's like, I was surprised that this was 2 stars, not like what? Where is it? Where is it? No, wrong one. So that's 2 out of 5. It would be interesting to see what the higher difficulties are. I don't have the Godzilla one with me, but it was like the thickest that one got was 3 layers of gluing, so it's not nearly as intricate as this. So that might be a 1 or a 2 star as well. Yeah, that would be interesting, Halogen. We can find a 5-star set and see see what kind of effort goes into it. That'd be cool. I could totally do one of those on stream, something like that. All right, that was it's very fulfilling. I gotta say that felt really good to build those 2 up and like have them come out looking really nice. I mean, it's like it's nice when the hobby kit is good enough that you don't have to put that much effort in yourself for it to end up looking really nice. And I think it's just like for these, it's all about composition and colors. I actually think this one looks better in terms of colors. This one really nails it. It's really good. This is cool just because of the focus on the ship and the swoosh of the movement and stuff is very cool. But just the composition on this, just the kind of perfect positioning of the door behind. I mean, like, this is like, George Lucas as a visual director. This is him at his finest, right? So it's very easy to make this one look good. You're heading a bit to bed, Tuaka. Thanks for coming along. I mean, we're pretty much wrapping up now anyway, so there isn't much more stream to happen. But yes, see you soon. Autocomplete emotes. What was that? It was like a hand wave that turned into a weird YouTube emote. Anyway, had some fun. I hope you had fun watching me build these little things. I think it's a lot of fun. It makes me want to do more random kind of hobby things. So either papercraft things or painting things and stuff like that on stream. I think that could be a lot of fun. I did have the idea of doing some teaching on stream because it's been so long since I did any teaching. And I might do that still. Like, I haven't... oh, sorry. Just moving the light away. But I'll do something like that. But, like, this is actually really fun now because this means that, like, if I go into the city and buy random stuff to build, I can say it was for my stream. So I've got an excuse to buy random toys to build and stuff. So I think that's a lot of fun. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for coming along, everyone. Thanks for enjoying the different format. I found the joy of this crafting actually to be a lot of fun. Ooh, Helgen, you found one that's 4 out of 5. Let's check that before we go. We'll have oh, that's all right. Okay, we're checking out on Discord. Okay, I'll wrap up the stream there. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along and taking part in the joy of building stuff with me. And I'll see you most likely next week. And we will potentially, because I'm totally going to end up going to the city between now and then and shopping for more things to craft next Monday. Okay, see you later.